So you want to get lean. And while some people stay lean eating whatever they want, you've been putting your blood, sweat, and tears into training and eating right just to end up gaining weight looking at food. All because of your height. So you're probably asking yourself, why is this so much harder for me? Am I doomed because I'm short forever? Well, I've got some good news and some terrible ones for you actually. When it comes to getting lean, petites face one huge genetic hurdle. Our metabolism is slower. Since we're shorter, we have less total body weight, which also equals to less lean muscle mass. And that is the biggest driver of our metabolism, meaning we burn less calories by default. When we compare different heights, petites could burn about 1500 calories per day. If we want to lose weight, we need to eat below that number. While someone taller, burning about 2000 calories per day, only needs to go down to 17 to 1800 calories and make progress. That gap sets us back because we resort to extreme dieting and excessive cardio just to see any progress. While that may work short term, it's essentially burning through the little lean muscle mass we have, slowing down our metabolism even further. Generic weight loss advice like this is exactly why getting lean as a petite feels impossible. We need a different approach, and that's where the good news come in. While metabolism is partly genetic, there are things you can do to speed it up. This massive 2022 study, for example, has found that metabolic rates vary by a lot. This figure compares body weight and calories burned per day, or your metabolism. Each of these dots are different people. If you look at the middle figure of 80 kilograms, you can see that the person with the slowest metabolism is only burning 1400 calories per day, while the person with the highest metabolism is burning 5700 calories per day at the exact same body weight. That's exactly how two girls of the same height and same body weight can have completely different metabolisms. So today we're gonna cover the 3 of the most efficient ways to speed up your metabolism and finally get lean as a petite. First is protein intake. Every time you eat, your body burns calories digesting. It's called the thermic effect of food. When you eat carbs, your body burns about 5 to 10% of those digesting. Fats, almost nothing, 0 to 3%, while protein is burning a whopping 30%. Every time you eat 100 calories of protein, your body burns up to 30 of them just breaking them down. That's like extra 100 to 150 calories per day burnt just from digesting. But that's not all, because when you have a smaller calorie budget, protein is what keeps your hunger in check. Because as you eat protein, your hunger hormones decrease, while satiety hormones like PYY and GLP-1, the Ozempic GLP-1s, increase. In fact, the same study has found that people that increase their protein intake start naturally eating about 400 less calories per day. And if you're not convinced yet, not getting enough protein ruins our metabolism. See, when you're trying to lose weight and you eat less food, your body needs to pull energy from somewhere, either fat storage or muscle tissue. When you don't have enough protein in your body, it goes straight for the muscle tissue. It's easier. And that's where protein comes in. It acts as a shield to your muscle mass when you're dieting and signals your body to burn fat instead. Your target for protein should be about 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. That's about 30 to 40 grams of protein each meal. And that's probably a lot higher than what you're eating right now. Because when you're not tracking your protein, it's so easy to not get enough. The standard breakfast of 2 eggs and toast only gives you about 12 grams of protein. But before you start chugging 5 protein shakes per day, here are 2 simple things you can do to always reach your protein goal. First, center all your meals around your protein sources. So let's say I'm having lunch. First, I decide what am I having for protein in that meal. Today I'm gonna go with chicken. But if I try to get all my 40 grams of protein in just chicken breast, I would be broke really soon. So I'm gonna do some chicken and then add some Greek yogurt as a sauce. Now that I have my base, I know that I wanna have some sweet potato fries to dip my Greek yogurt sauce in, and some veggies, of course, for fiber and volume. Easy 40-gram protein meal. But here's the problem. When your calorie budget is low, it's easy to overeat just to get enough protein. And that's where you wanna look at your protein source. Leaner protein sources are a better calorie to protein ratio for your buck. Think lean meats like chicken breast, ground turkey, extra lean ground beef, canned tuna, dairy like low-fat Greek yogurt, low-fat cottage cheese, egg whites, and whey isolate protein powder. Not to say that you can never have fatty protein sources. Salmon, eggs, nuts are full of omega-3s and important minerals for your body. But if most of the time you reach for those linear protein sources, it's gonna feel a lot easier to reach your protein goal while being able to feel like you're eating more and staying within your calorie budget. Alright, the second way to get lean as a petite is what most of us get wrong. We've been told that abs are made in the kitchen, so we just focus on eating less. And that's not inherently wrong, but doing that, we're completely missing the one thing that fixes the core issue of our slow metabolism, and that's building muscle. At rest, 1 pound of fat burns about 2 calories per day, while 1 pound of muscle burns up to 6 calories per day. Based on my current body composition, if I just sat down all day, the fat on my body would burn about 55 calories, while the muscle on my body would burn about 5 585 calories. That's a huge difference. As a short girl, I thought I was doomed with slow metabolism forever until I started lifting weights. And that sounds great, but how do you actually get there? Because I know that lifting weights can be so confusing if you've never done it before. I'll try to simplify it as much as I can. You want to strength train about 3 to 4 times a week. To split up your week, you can use any of the following splits: upper, lower, push-pull legs, or full body. Here's an example of an upper-lower split that you can use. Also, if you're looking for specific workouts, in my last video, I walked you through my lower body session. The last step to getting lean as a petite is a smart calorie target. When you think of losing fat, your first instinct is probably to slash your calories, but that can backfire for us petites. When we enter a calorie deficit, as we lose weight, our metabolism adapts. Our body senses when it's getting less food and starts burning less to compensate. That's when we hit a plateau and need to decrease our calories even further to keep losing weight. That's normal during a caloric deficit, and that's called metabolic adaptation. But because we're shorter, we already start at a lower basal metabolic rate. So there's just so much we can decrease to until we reach an unsustainably low amount and need to resort to extreme dieting or excessive cardio just to keep seeing results. And once we reach our goal, we need to keep doing those things to keep the progress that we've made. But what if we can lose fat while building muscle at the same time, allowing us to protect our metabolism while making great progress with our physique? In one 10-week study, people lost about 6.5 pounds of fat while still gaining 2 pounds of muscle at the same time. Alright, so protein goal and strength training are essential steps for body recomposition. Now we're missing just a right calorie target. First, to find an estimate of your maintenance, take your body weight in pounds and multiply it by 14 to 18, based on how active you are right now. Keep in mind that that's just an estimate. So try eating that amount and see how you feel. If you're gaining weight, you need to decrease that number. If you're losing weight, you need to increase that number slightly. If you're already pretty lean, so below 25% body fat, you can keep eating at that maintenance amount that you've calculated. If you're more than 25% body fat, you can enter a slight calorie deficit, so just 10% below your maintenance amount. Because the scale won't move much, it's harder to figure out whether body recomp is working. So beyond the scale, you want to take progress pictures, notice how your clothes are fitting, and track your progress in the gym. If you're consistently lifting heavier over time, it means you're building muscle. And before you try this, and say that it doesn't work, remember that body recomposition is not a quick way out. You're not going to see results as quick as if you would have gone on a crash diet, but the results that you do make, you get to keep forever. So give this at least 12 weeks of consistency, 12 weeks of hitting your protein, 12 weeks of strength training, and 12 weeks of tracking your calories, and then make judgments whether this is working for you or not. So let's connect the dots. Let's say right now you're petite at 130 pounds and about 25% body fat. If you spend the next 3 months following a high protein diet, building muscle by strength training about 2 to 4 times per week, and eating at maintenance or slightly below, you could lose 4 pounds of fat while gaining 3 pounds of muscle, while keeping your body weight roughly the same and increasing your metabolism in the process, all without drastically slashing your calories and doing extreme cardio routines. Just being extremely consistent with those and showing up each day, doing the same things over and over again. If you want to follow along with me, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.